Not only should he play in San Francisco, he should be the quarterback for the rest of the season.
And now he's trying to make it back. And we'll see whether or not he can, but he clearly is in the competition and in the running to become the Browns' starting quarterback this season.
Shedeur Sanders puts haters on notice after Todd Monken handed him back his number 2 and quietly, no not quietly, loudly made it clear who's getting the keys to the offense. And if you're still treating Shedeur like some background storyline, you are already late. Because this isn't just a jersey change, this isn't just off-season coach talk, and this definitely isn't one of those empty competition is open situations we hear every year. This is a shift. This is a signal, and more importantly, this is the moment where a young quarterback who was pushed to the side is now being pushed to the front. Let's get straight into it, because there's no slow intro here. Todd Monken didn't dance around it. He didn't hedge his words. He didn't give you that generic, "we'll see how camp goes" line. He said Shedeur Sanders is getting the most reps this offseason. That alone tells you everything. In football, reps are currency. Reps are opportunity. Reps are trust. And you don't give the most reps to a quarterback you're unsure about. You give them to the guy you're preparing to start. Period.
Well, first of all, I think we've got 3 outstanding quarterbacks that are going to be competing for a starting position. Like any position on our team, there's going to be competition.
Here's the part nobody is talking about. The jersey number matters way more than people want to admit. Getting that number 2 back, that's identity. That's ownership. That's the Browns saying, we're not trying to reshape you, we're building around who you already are. In college, that number became part of Shedeur's brand, part of his confidence, part of how fans connected to him. When he lost it, he lost a piece of that identity. Now that it's back, it's not just symbolic, it's psychological. It's the organization telling him to be fully himself again. And when you combine that with Monken's comments, it starts to paint a very clear picture. This isn't just about development anymore. This is about transition. This is about Cleveland moving from uncertainty at quarterback to commitment. And that commitment is landing on Shedeur Sanders.
Now we know Todd Monken came out on record and stated that we're going to go with what we've seen in the past and how we left off last year. And if you guys think about it, how they left off last year was with Shedeur Sanders as quarterback 1. Everything they've seen in the past, Shedeur Sanders took the reins the last 7 games, and he ended the season as quarterback 1. So the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Todd Monken, is basically letting you guys know and dropping hints that we are starting the season off the way we left off last year. And that's Shedeur Sanders as quarterback 1.
Now let's break down what Monken actually said, because this is where the story really gets interesting. He talked about Shedeur's presence in the building. He emphasized how refreshing it is to see a player who understands where he is and where he wants to go. That's not fluff. Coaches don't highlight work ethic publicly unless they're trying to send a message. And the message here is simple. Shedeur is doing the work, and everyone else needs to catch up. This is where it gets dangerous, because once a coach publicly praises one quarterback's work ethic and availability, every other quarterback in that room gets compared to it. And that includes Deshaun Watson. That includes everyone who thought they had a shot at that job. Because now the narrative isn't just about talent, it's about commitment. And in a league where preparation is everything, that can flip a depth chart faster than any highlight throw ever could.
And if you're arguing Shedeur Sanders and success rate, I feel like you're missing the plot here.
You know what the success rate is? They won the game!
They won. Not only did they win the game, Daryl, Shedeur Sanders became the first Browns rookie to win since 1995.
Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Last season, Shedeur was not given a fair runway. That's just reality. Week after week, questions came up about the quarterback situation, and instead of clarity, there was deflection. Instead of opportunity, there was hesitation. Instead of development, there was politics. And players noticed that. Locker rooms noticed that. That's why Monken bringing up player belief is such a big deal. Because here's the truth. This isn't just a coaching decision. This is a locker room decision too. Guys like Myles Garrett and other veterans have already made it clear who they believe in. And when a team starts rallying around a quarterback, it changes everything. It changes how hard they block. It changes how they respond to adversity. It changes the energy of the entire team. Here's the part nobody is talking about. player consensus can be more powerful than coaching preference. Coaches can draw up plays, but players decide who they're willing to go to war for. And right now, it looks like the Browns players are choosing Shedeur.
You're not even a head coach on an NFL level, so I don't even have expectations for Shedeur under Todd Monken, because I believe any expectations I would have, he would not meet. Because why am I excited about it, T?
This is where young players usually make a mistake. They let early adversity shake their identity. They start second-guessing themselves. They start playing safe. They start trying to please everyone instead of trusting their game. Shedeur didn't do that. He stayed consistent. He stayed confident. He kept working even when the situation didn't favor him. And now that patience is paying off. Now let's zoom out a bit, because this isn't happening in a vacuum. Around the league, quarterback situations are shifting fast. You've got Kirk Cousins stepping into a mentoring role with the Raiders, likely backing up the incoming #1 pick, Fernando Mendoza. You've got teams across the NFL rethinking how they develop young quarterbacks instead of throwing them into chaos immediately. In Cleveland, they're finally catching up to that trend. Instead of rushing Shedeur, they're building around him. Instead of hiding him, they're highlighting him. Instead of questioning him, they're empowering him. That's a completely different environment than what he walked into last year. And that's why this moment matters so much. Because confidence in sports isn't just internal, it's external too. It's built through trust, through repetition, through opportunity. When a coach stands behind you publicly, when your teammates back you, when your identity is restored, that creates a different kind of player, a more dangerous player.
So the fact that they put that video out of that interaction between him and Shedeur and him talking about, hey, we tried drafting you last year.
This is where it gets dangerous, because now the expectations flip. Last year, Shedeur was the underdog, the overlooked guy, the one fighting for a chance. Now he's the guy. Now he's the one expected to lead. Now every throw, every decision, every mistake gets magnified. And that's where the real test begins. But here's why this situation feels different. Shedeur isn't walking into this blindly. He's already been through the adversity. He's already dealt with the noise. He's already proven he can handle pressure without losing himself. That's not something you can teach. That's something you either have or you don't. And if you look at how this offseason is unfolding, it's clear the Browns believe he has it. Let's also talk about the competitive landscape, because this matters too. The AFC is loaded. Quarterback play is at an all-time high. And if you're going to succeed, you need more than just talent. You need presence. You need leadership. You need that edge that makes teammates believe and opponents uncomfortable. Shedeur has shown flashes of that already, not just in his play, but in his attitude, in his willingness to stand up, to respond, to compete. And now, with the backing of his coach and team, those flashes have a chance to turn into something consistent. Here's the part nobody is talking about. This is also a culture reset for Cleveland. For years, the Browns have been defined by instability at quarterback. Different names, different systems, different expectations. Now, for the first time in a while, it feels like they're actually committing to a direction. And that direction is Shedeur Sanders. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed to work. Nothing in the NFL is. But it does mean they're finally making a decision instead of avoiding one. And sometimes that's the most important step. This is where young players usually make a mistake. They think getting the starting job is the finish line. It's not. It's the starting point. Everything resets once you're the guy. The excuses disappear, the expectations rise, and the margin for error shrinks. Shedeur has to understand that. He has to build on this momentum. He has to take those reps and turn them into results. He has to prove that the belief around him is justified. But if there's one thing this entire situation has shown, it's that he's built for that challenge. And that brings us to the bigger legacy angle, because this isn't just about one season or one starting job. This is about how Shedeur Sanders will be remembered in the NFL. Was he the player who got hyped and faded? Or was he the player who got doubted, stayed patient, and then took over when the opportunity finally came? That's the path he's on right now. And moments like this, getting his number back, getting the most reps, getting public backing from his coach, these are the early chapters of that story. So now everything comes down to this. Was Todd Monken just making a smart developmental decision, or did he just quietly announce that Shedeur Sanders is the future of the Cleveland Browns? Because if it's the second one, then the rest of the league better start paying attention. And more importantly, are the haters ready to admit they might have been wrong, or are they going to wait until Shedeur forces them to?